I'm Burj. I'm the CEO of Pricing, and in today's video, we will talk about what is price elasticity of demand and what affects it. Price elasticity of demand is simply a scale of change in demand following a change in price. In short, it measures how responsive demand is to changes in prices. Think of it as a general concept. Rather than focusing on how many customers will quit shopping with you when you increase PS5 prices, focus on the unique qualities of a product and the market conditions. Think about the insulin market in the US. Insulin sales soared in the last decade despite prices having increased dramatically over the years. Now, compare it to your favorite shampoo brand. What if it's 10 times its current price in 10 years? Would you still buy it? You sense the difference between those two examples. One is a necessity, and there are too many alternatives for the other. But those are not the only factors in play. If we put all those contributing factors into a list, it looks like this. So, let's stick with the insulin example. Is it a necessity? Well, definitely. Like all prescription drugs, insulin is a necessity. According to Rand Corporation study, as of 2020, the average manufacturer price per unit for insulin is around $9 in almost all OECD countries, because pharmaceutical markets are typically crowded, if not saturated. And naturally, competition pushes prices down. But not in the US. Why? Well, that brings us to the next question. Does the product have substitutes? In the massive US pharmaceutical market, only 3 large corporations produce insulin drugs. There are a lot of reasons why this is the case, but regardless, we end up with no substitutes, no competition, and an inelastic demand. That's why the average manufacturer price per unit in the US was almost $100 at the time of the study. Now, let's move on to a familiar story, the evolution of the iPhone. Apple launched the first iPhone in 2007 as a smartphone that ran apps, which was an innovative technology at the time. That gave the company an undeniable advantage. But do you think that head start made the company what it is today? Not really. As other companies started catching up with the technology, that advantage faded away rapidly. Then, what's the secret behind this giant success? There comes the third question you would ask. How powerful is the brand? Apple's iconic branding strategy worked incredibly well for over a decade. Even though they no longer had the advantage of offering a superior technology and were still pricier, Apple fans stood loyal to the brand. And even today, it would be naive to think they could switch to another brand easily. It's hard to give up on something once it becomes a part of your lifestyle. But as Dr. Jill Avery puts, referring to price elasticity, it's an important metric to watch because your product may become more elastic if a competitor starts offering compelling substitutes or consumers' incomes go down, making them more sensitive to price. So, here's the next question. What is the situation of the economy and people's incomes? There are some things you can't possibly influence. The millennial consumer has much less disposable income compared to older generations. As Apple's future prospects, what if they won't be able to afford Apple products in the next decade? Well, we will have to wait and see how it unfolds. What also might change about your consumer base is their buying habits. For instance, in times of economic downturn, people tend to hold on to their savings. Even if they can afford a product, they might not see the value in it anymore. How much of your income is allocated to a purchase? Compare grocery shopping and buying a PC. Even when you haven't set a budget for your ideal PC, you become more price conscious during your product hunt. Whereas when you're out grocery shopping, you don't even notice minor price changes or they don't bother you too much. Sometimes, urgency drives our purchasing decisions. Imagine it's your wedding day, and just 2 hours before the ceremony, your best friend spills their drink onto your wonderful dress. What do? Pay someone a lot of money so they can get you an okay one just before the ceremony starts. And you are so thankful that they made it on time. So, elasticity also depends on how urgently you need something. When calculating price elasticity of demand, you pick a period and calculate the changes in quantity demanded in that specific time span. Let's go back to the iPhone example. We said that we will have to wait and see how the story unfolds. While waiting, we will see all those factors we have talked about in constant motion. And as you can see, they are all interconnected. My point is, think of price elasticity of demand as an inexact value. Rather than trying to control it, try to understand it. Position yourself wisely now so that perhaps you know a bit more about the dynamics. Thank you everyone for watching us. Stay tuned for the next video and take care.